Welcome. Today's lesson is going to be plurals. When we want to make a noun plural, we normally add an s, but there are some cases which the noun doesn't follow any rules. For example, men, men, women, women, tooth and teeth, and food and feet. As the previous examples, there are other ones that doesn't follow rules. For example, the ones that I'm going to mention here. These nouns doesn't follow the rule of plural and singular because these words maintain the same form as they are in singular and in plural. For example, scissors and trousers. And the other one is sheep. Apart from the ones that I have mentioned, there are some other that actually follow rules, but they don't only need to be add an s, if not some other letters, for example, E and S. We have the nouns that end up in F or FE, and in these cases, to make a plural, we need to change them for a V, E, and an S. For example, wife and wives, leaf and leaves, knife and knives. We have also nouns that end in Y, and we change it for an I, and we add an ES. For example, family, families, baby, babies, lady, ladies, country, and countries. As you can see here, we change the Y for an I, and we add an ES. We also have the nouns that end in S, CH, SH, X, and O, and we change them for an ES to make a plural. For example, box, as you can see, ends in an X, box, boxes, bus, buses, church that ends up in a CH, churches, potato that ends up on an O, potatoes, and lastly, brush that ends up on SH, brushes. But there are nouns that doesn't follow the rules that I have mentioned. For example, there are words that even though they end up in O, we don't need to add an ES. We only need to add an S. For example, photo, photos, radio, radios, piano, pianos. As you can see, we only add an ES to make it plural. We don't add ES, we only add an S. And another exception is when we have the Y. When we have the Y at the end, but we have a vocal before that Y, we only need to add an S. We don't change that for an I and add an ES. Do you understand? For example, we have the word boy. To make it plural, we only need to add an S, boys. And the other one is day. We only need to add an S, days. As you can see, we have the vocal and then we have the Y. That's why we only add the S. Now, it's time for a fun activity. We have an exercise here to make plurals and singular some words. Try to follow the rules that I have mentioned before. Try to rewatch the video if necessary and try to make these nouns into plurals or singulars depending on the case. Pause the video because after a few seconds I'm going to show the real answers for this exercise. So, good luck! Okay, how did you do? Let's find out. Here are the answers for the exercise that I have said before. Here are the nouns that suppose are in plural and the nouns that are in singular. So, try to check if you got them correct. If not, try to rewatch the video. So that was it for today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching. If you didn't understand, try to rewatch the video again. And if you didn't, try to make some exercises so you can practice the rules that we have seen today. So thank you and I'll see you next time. Bye.